And adding and subtracting decimals, lesson 5, the last one for this week before we move on to something different next week. Right, so this one we're looking at money. Okay, so this shouldn't be too hard, but this is also a really good life skill for us to be learning as well. Okay, so we've got Max and Jamie. Max says that he only has £4, and Jamie's talking about how his is £1.35 more than Max's. Okay, so behind them we can see that there's a menu which tells us how much pizza and juice are, but not the price of anything else. So we might have to figure that one out. Okay, so looking at 1A, Max wants to buy pizza and juice. So does he have enough money? Okay, so we're doing an addition problem there. Then looking at 1B, what is the total cost of Jamie's meal? Okay, so once we figure out how much Max has spent on his lunch, then we can figure out how much Jamie's meal cost. Okay, so for the very first question, we know the price for pizza and juice, so we just need to add those together. Okay, so remember that we're adding over any exchanges that we need to. Okay, so here we can see that 6 and 4 add up to 10, so we need to bump that 1 over into our tenths place. Okay, and then we can see that we're adding 9 to 1 from the exchange, okay, which means we need to once again bump that 1 over into our ones place, right? Then we can see for the total amount that it's going to cost him £4 for lunch, and he has just enough money. Okay. Then looking at B, because we know that Max has spent £4 on his meal, then we need to do an addition problem to figure out how much more money Jamie has. Now, most of you could probably do this mentally, right? But of course, you can also use a number line or any other resource that you think is useful. Okay, so we're adding £1.35 to Max's 4, which means that we get a total of £5.35 for the cost of Jamie's meal. Okay, that one's not too challenging. Right, now we've got some items here for sale at the supermarket, looking at our thinking together. Right, so we've got apples, bananas, melon, some pears and cherries. Okay, and I want to know how much these items cost in total. So what we need to be doing is adding all of these items together, of course. Okay, so they have sort of chunked it into different bits. Okay, so they've added the bananas and melons together, the pears and cherries. Of course, you could just do one big, really long addition problem, but it's much easier to pair our costs together. No pun intended. Right, looking at number 2, work out the missing numbers. Like I said before in the last lesson, if we've got 2 parts, then you just need to add them together to create the whole. Okay, make sure that you're keeping your place value and you're doing any appropriate add-ons or extensions or exchanges. Right, and then of course we have our challenge. Okay, so still working with money. Right, if you find it easier to think about working with decimals in terms of money, then please continue to do that. But if this is confusing, maybe just remove that pound sign and just try to look at it as addition, just normal values and not as money. Okay, of course, please try these questions out before you work on your practice book pages that are on the website.